G'day, fellas, and welcome to the grand final, match number 5 in this series, MarineLorD versus Hera. Spawning in on the north side of the map, in the color blue, playing the deli. We've got MarineLorD, his opponent, who spawns on the south side of the map. We've got Hera in the red, playing the Rus. Opening us up with a house as well as a hunting cabin. So not opting for a dock. Going to be going straight for that hunting cabin. You can see him out with the scout into the middle of the map straight away. From the town center, he already trained up that scout, and we can actually see MarineLorD going for a very safe dock opening. And I do like this play from MarineLorD. It makes a lot of sense. Instead of going for the middle, he's gone for a very safe corner pocket little position. You can see Hera down there searching for it, looking for it, not going to be able to find it. And it means that MarineLorD's going to be able to secure that. Question is whether he's going to become aggressive, whether he's going to look to bring these fishing boats around the loop, whether he's going to look to set up camp over on the other side of the river with another dock. We'll have to wait. We'll have to see. Lidakor, how you feeling about this game? Match number 5 in this series. It's down to the wire.
Card is looking really good for MarineLorD over here. Oftentimes you place that dock right next to that crossing because that gives you the potential to pop out combat ships in the face of the opponent. Especially later in the game, demolition ships popping out of the dock in the opponent's face could be massive. But in this situation, as you said, this is a very safe dock. And by placing it further away from this crossing, it means it takes more time for Hera to get there. And the first benchmark for Hera is being able to kill or stop that villager from making that dock. Because once that dock goes up, you will be able to get a fishing ship out of that, and that will protect the dock. The other thing to highlight is that MarineLorD doing something that's pretty common on this map, moving to the middle right at the beginning and aggroing the wolves. This central area has a lot of wolves, and that is consistent within all seeds on this map. So basically, whenever you're fighting against Rus, you go into the middle, aggro those wolves, and take them back, because this way you can cut Hera off from those. As things stand, that was 75 bounty denied from Hera. Hera is still at 145, and he's still taking down this patch of deer. The one on the right side has been taken down, so is the ones from MarineLorD. So Hera, unless he finds a couple more wolves, he's gonna be stuck at that 180, 200 level, unable to hit that plus 10% extra. It looks like he's trying to wall off this crossing over here, but that is going to be denied by Hera. So, as things stand, Hera should have some safety fishing on the right side as well in the next couple of moments.
Yeah, what you've got to look out for is a potential attempt for him to try and put down a dock up here towards this northern position. I really wouldn't be surprised to see MarineLorD try something. He's going to spot this dock immediately coming out here from Hera. So we'll watch to see if MarineLorD looks to bring out a villager, maybe 2 villagers, and look at potentially getting an outpost down here, look at getting a dock down here himself, and really starting to push the agenda. I wouldn't be surprised at all. We'll have a look over towards his base, because there is a bit of movement that's going out towards... it looks like it's just going to be a couple of fights happening over deers, another scout going to be coming out at this point in time. And what have we got with regard to fishing boats out for MarineLorD at this point? Looks like there's about 4 fishing boats. Still got 1 settler. So yeah, yet to move out. Not going to be playing aggressive at all with his docks at this stage.
Gotta love how you said settler instead of villager out here. The AOE free vibes kick in. Yep, you said settler. I saw that you were playing settlers the other day.
Yes, I was actually. Yeah, giving the settlers a little bit of a go. They've got a game coming out in this year, 2022. One of the new games. So I thought, why not? I'll give it a go. Had a little play. Wasn't too bad. I enjoyed my time there.
Hera also enjoys his time right now on the southern part of the map with that extra wolf biting his scout. It's going to be 285 bounty, and given the fact that you lost 75 in the middle to MarineLorD, that is something that you have to be satisfied about. Now, the berries are quite a bit exposed over here for MarineLorD. For now, that mill is just there so he can start researching wheelbarrow, but this is something that Hera could start burning down, should he decide to do so.
And speaking of burning down, do we see, potentially, the Kremlin coming out? Where is that Kremlin? Where is that landmark? Is he going to be going for the stock standard? Keep in mind, if he goes for the Golden Gate, oh, you can't do it like that, Hera. Hera loses. Hera loses. The meta has been throughout this tournament, throughout these last few series, going for the Kremlin. You get the Kremlin up, you secure that Kremlin, you win the game. It's got a 100% win rate in this tournament. If you go, it's a matter of fact. If you go the Kremlin, you win the game. Simply how it works, Lidakor.
Scouts are now coming in here for Hera, though, and that's going to push away MarineLorD from the gold mine. And that's going to hurt for MarineLorD. MarineLorD, does he have enough gold for Feudal Age? The answer is yes. And looking at his gold bank, however, he's not going to have enough gold for additional scholars. So being able to push away MarineLorD from this gold mine is going to have significant consequences, because you will slow down that scholar production on the Dome of Fate. And that is definitely a nice advantage for Hera to be had. At this point, it seems like Hera's just going to try to go for a fast castle-style approach here, with the fishing eco professional scouts, potentially. As things stand, no forward dock from MarineLorD. MarineLorD is going to pull a villager to repair that mining camp, but for Hera, he's perfectly fine just denying that gold mine. He doesn't need to burn this one down. He's not Mongols. He just needs to make sure that his opponent isn't able to mine gold.
You know what I would love to see, and it's kind of wild, and I've talked about this before, Fast Imperial. Think about it from this perspective, right? From Hera's perspective. He's going to be able to go Fast Castle very easily. What is his main threat when he's playing against the Delhi? Like, realistically, it's like a men-at-arm timing push. So if he just goes for, like, walling up the crossings, looking to get out one demo, and then goes Fast Imperial, gets the demo upgrade, and then he's in a great position, because once you're an Imperial, your enemy has to follow you up, otherwise they're just going to lose. And if he gets that demo upgrade, even with just one demo out, I mean, there's just no push that's going to happen. Unless MarineLorD sees that coming and manages to go around the outside, it's going to be really tough for him to do that. He's not going to be able to break through the center at all.
You just love your fast Imperials, don't you?
I really do. I mean, but at the moment, explosives is just so overpowered that you just have to go for it.
Speaking of which, gotta love how Hera is spreading out his fishing ships over here to prevent the sneaky dock from MarineLorD, and it looks like MarineLorD isn't even attempting to do anything like that, which now gives a pretty decent fishing eco advantage for Hera over here. That is 1100 food in the bank already for him, has about 9 fishing ships as opposed to MarineLorD. MarineLorD having 11 though, so MarineLorD also looking pretty decent on the food department as things stand.
Yeah, not doing too bad. But now it looks like Hera going to be pushing in towards the base of his opponent. Are we able to take a look at Hera's base, see what infrastructure he's got back there, whether he's going to be doing this naked FC? And it looks like he's going to be going double stable, so it doesn't look like it's going to be a fast Imperial with one demo today. Unfortunately, I guess that tiredness is getting to me. It's 9 o'clock in the morning right now, Lidakor. So how long have we been casting for? About 7 hours. So I think I'm starting to get to that point where I'm losing the brain cells from sleep deprivation. That's the one. Maybe we'll see it another day. But Fast Castle going to be happening now. Hera dropping down that Abbey of the Trinity. 8 villagers on that one. Also got these scouts in here looking to do a little bit of damage on this gold mine. Not having a whole lot of luck. There are a few scouts in here looking to try and defend. A horseman going to be coming out as well, looking to get the stabby on. Not going to be having too much luck as those scouts do manage to break away, but unfortunately they have turned back around and looking to pick a fight. Keep in mind these scouts, they only do 4 damage a pop, but the horseman, it does 9 damage. So it's like, it's double damage, but it's not really that much when you think about it.
Indeed. For the time being, Hera is going to see that horseman out there, so he knows exactly his opponent has a stable. But of course, he's going to have the advantage going to Castle Age. With the Abbey of Trinity, he can start picking up the relics. But most importantly, he can start trickling in knights to the opponent's eco. And since MarineLorD went with the stable himself and he's not Castle Age, he's going to struggle big time against the knights because he doesn't have spearmen and he's not in Castle Age yet to pop out his own knights.
Yeah, it becomes difficult for him, but now the market getting dropped down, MarineLorD going up to the next age, dropping down the House of Learning. I'd be curious to see which direction he goes for, whether he looks to go for knights himself or whether he looks to go for more men-at-arms. Obviously, he's got the stable out already, so it would make a lot of sense, but he's going to be a little bit behind his opponent. Now, I will note that he hasn't actually walled off the crossing. He's done just the standard wall, but hasn't actually done the T-cross, which is, I'd almost say, mandatory on a map like this, especially when you've got a crossing so close to your base.
And here comes a nice charge, and that is going to be a delayed, potentially denied age up, and that's a disaster at this point, because from this point
really
on,
bad.
It's gonna be just a nightmare to clean up all of those knights out there. Every second that MarineLorD delays with that landmark will mean that he's gonna have less and less knights on the battlefield. Speaking of which, the gold miners were idle for some time as well, and you see, this landmark being delayed is just going to allow Hera to trickle in even more cavalry to the battlefield.
Exactly. And the worst part is it could have all been prevented just a single wall. You know, 25 wood would have been enough. Look at the villagers that he's got out here now. He realizes the position that he's in. He knows he is stuffed. This is not good right now for MarineLorD. This is actually terrible in his position, because you can see that the Lancers just keep coming back in. And he's just got to... He can't age up. He can't age up. This is good game right here. This is literally good game. It cost him 25 wood to put that wall up. He failed to do it. This is GG. It is 100% good game right now. He can't get the House of Learning up. There's no way that this goes up at all. The units just keep trickling in.
Exactly. By the time you clean up one knight, there is going to be a second one reinforcing it. Hera sees the blood in the water. He knows exactly that he's going to be losing those knights, but at this point he's also aware that every single second he delays that landmark is just going to be an absolute pain for MarineLorD, because not only is MarineLorD having his landmark delayed, his food eco is idle. The villagers inside the town center are all the food villagers. At this point, MarineLorD has only food source from the fish, finally getting that landmark up. At least, to a certain extent, still getting delayed. Feels next to impossible here for MarineLorD to get that up.
No, this is a good game. 100% it's over. He needed to get a villager out there. He needed to wall that crossing. He needed to have a T in there. But it's too little too late at this point in time. Good game. Definitely going over to Hera. Absolutely insane game. I can't believe it. You know, he's just sitting in the base. You see the units coming across the map, flooding the map. Go back to the crossing. You can see you got 2 more knights coming across. He's underneath the town center. There's 20 villagers inside that TC. All these villagers here are going to die. They don't care about the shotgun that's coming out and shooting them. Those lancers are just going to look for blood. And as you mentioned, there is blood in this water. MarineLorD not looking pretty right now.
And the ugly thing is that even if MarineLorD somehow forces this up with 20 villagers in the TC, killing those knights, and then the other 10 somehow building it, what is going to be left out of MarineLorD's eco? Absolutely nothing. He taps out of the game. And with that, Hera taking the set free too.
Absolute insane game coming out from Hera right there. A huge unforced error from MarineLorD, failing to wall off that crossing and costing him his first S-tier tournament. Absolute insanity. Incredibly well played to Hera today. He went into this, I mean, he went up against his Canadian compatriot, did very, very well. He came into the game against MarineLorD. I don't think many people were looking at him as a favorite, but he still managed to hold his own, took MarineLorD to the 5th game, took advantage of the fact that he failed to wall that crossing and absolutely punished him with Lancer after Lancer after Lancer.
That is just a textbook execution of denying that H-up, and really, as you said, if MarineLorD walled that crossing off, it would have been a completely different story, because Hera wouldn't have been able to trickle in the knights fast enough. MarineLorD didn't think that Hera's gonna be up with knights. Maybe he was thinking about horse archers, which would have had a much harder time staying underneath the town center, denying that landmark. But by the time he realized it was knights, it was just obvious that he didn't have the tools to stop it. He invested his wood into a stable, so he didn't have his wood for a barracks, and by the time he had the chance to react, it was a little too late. Hera closes the game out, and with that, wins his first major Age of Empires 4 tournament out here. Sort of the player that came into this tournament as the underdog, which is a little weird because he's a very high-profile player that we know is super powerful, but before the tournament, there were other people on our minds as candidates to win this one, but Hera has had a very, very consistent performance throughout this tournament. Barely dropped games before getting into the grand finals. He dropped 1 game before getting in here. That was against Lidakor. Every other set, he won in a dominant fashion. And then against MarineLorD, takes it free too.
Yeah, absolutely incredible play. I'm really impressed with how he went. He's had a good run coming up to this, but as you mentioned, there's just so much talent that's been in this tournament. Like, just to talk about the route that he came through here, went up against Nan Racing Cat, he went up against De Muslim, he went up against Lee Nock, Eric, and you might not know Eric, but just to give you a little bit of insight as to who that guy is, he beat Vortex 2-1. Then went on to go play against Wham, and then obviously playing up against MarineLorD in